What's going on, Jeromes? Happy Thanksgiving to my American friends and to everyone else. Happy Thursday. There you go. Nailed it. One of my favorite episodes of the week, a little Q&A session, but also one of my favorite things is the Black Friday sale at our store, purpleftw.net. Link is down below. 20% off everything in the store, as well as free shipping on everything. So get yourself some Jerome gear. It will ship out, and you will receive it before the holidays. So hop all up on that, all that stuff. So dive into Q&A. Vikings Nation. Based on our schedule, do you think if we had to pick one game not to show up, it was the Cowboys game? I feel like we have a chance to turn it around real quick and forget about Dallas if we can beat New England on Thursday. Well, I mean, I obviously got to show up for every game. But, yeah, I think that the quick turnaround does help. I think the worst would have been if they no-called, no-showed against the Patriots, and then you had 10 days with that mini-bye to stew on it until the Jets game. So, yeah, I think they're good to go there. Derek Baker, in your opinion, was the minimum number of wins the Vikings need to get the rest of the way in order to have a good chance of securing the 1 or 2 seed? Well, you do have the Niners nipping at the Vikings' heels right now, but I do think that probably going to have to get at least 12. Somewhere in that neighborhood to secure the 2 seed. And if Philly falters, I mean, if the Vikings can get to 14-3 somehow, I think they still have a shot. Drew Wanzik, if we had a prime Randy Moss, how well do you think he would do on our team? What would be his yearly stats? Well, Randy Moss with Justin Jefferson would just be unfair because Jefferson would have like everything underneath, and then Randy Moss would have everything deep, and also Jefferson would have everything deep. So I think that he would be ridiculous, like 69, nice. I don't know, 1,414. Somewhere in there. Gavin C. Going to my first NFL and Vikings game Thursday. Any insider information on things I might encounter while in the confines of historic U.S. Bank Stadium? Well, I don't really go to a ton of games, but I just know that the atmosphere is great. Like, you want your butt firmly in the seat at the start of the game when they do the Gallahorn, when they do the bom skull chant, because that is electric. Like, there is definitely a vibe with that. But hey, have fun, man. It's going to be a good time. Jay Bird, hopefully it's a better game than Sunday. Do you think we took a loss to the Cowboys knowing we had a 3-day turnaround to play New England on Thursday night for the health of the team further down the road in the playoffs? Cowboys game seemed to me like a walkthrough game. Well, I mean, the Cowboys had a quick turnaround too, because they're always playing on Thanksgiving. But at a certain point, I mean, when O'Connell started calling off the dogs and also subbing out the starters, I mean, the Vikings were clearly getting ready for Thanksgiving. But I don't think they intentionally took a loss just because they had a game coming up on Thursday. Derek Baker, I get how 1 to 2 guys on the Vikings could arrive on game day feeling less energetic, unmotivated, unprepared, but how does a complete unit, offensive line, most of the rooster, arrive with a collective apathy, lack of focus, etc., especially during a winning streak? Well, I think it's I think what it was is just a collective emotional hangover from the Bills game. I think that's what it was. Plus, maybe a little bit of cockiness, maybe a little complacency. It's like, hey, we're the cardiac kids. Hey, Dallas is up 17-3. We can come back. Dallas is up 37-3. Oh, we probably can't come back from this. Probably that. But yeah, I think that it's what we said at the time, and Adam Thielen reiterated, is that an absolute ass-kicking refocuses things, where if the Cowboys had eked out a last-second win, they're just like, yeah, we'll get them next time. But it's like, no, this is a complete wake-up call. You cannot do this. You have to show up every single game. Deplorable Neanderthal. First, thank you. I always know I'm not going to miss anything pertinent as long as I check in with the leader of the Jeromes. Thank you. Did the Vikings need a good slice of humble pie? Were they getting too comfortable with deficits since they kept coming back? I think that's certainly possible. It's sort of like, I mean, look at the Eagles this year where they're just jacking fools over and over, but then they got beat at home by the commies, and then they had a very near-run thing against the Colts, and maybe they wake up for the rest of the year, hopefully not. But this could be a really nice inflection point where the Vikings cruising along, then all of a sudden, hey, we can't keep doing that. And then all of a sudden they start getting their ish together, especially on offense, especially in red zone defense. Mr. Raining Fire, do you think this is a perfect game to test the Vikings offense against a good defense and the Vikings defense, how they stack against a below average offense? Yes. I think the Vikings have a very good shot. I mean, the Patriots defense is really good, but I think if they run the ball, do play action, and protect Kirk Cousins, they'll have a great time at home. And defensively, if they can't stop Mac Jones, they can't stop anyone. Strictly Sports. Also, what do you think the quarterback position will look like in the next 5 to 10 years? I think Kirk Cousins will play here for 3 or 4 more years, and then I think in the next year or two they should be looking to draft his heir apparent high in the draft, first or second round pick, and then go from there. St. Francis, are you confident Kirk Cousins being our quarterback in the coming years, or do you think we should start looking for a young quarterback? Yes to both. Sundance, how do we hold down and contain that Patriots pass rush? Judah is no joke, but I think Kevin O'Connell lean towards running the ball a bit more, wouldn't you think? Also, do you have any recs on healthy, fast breakfast for people who don't have that much time? So, yeah, running the ball at Judah makes a lot of sense. I think doubling him makes sense, too. Just like, although they do have some other great pass rushes as well. Wise has 6.5 sacks. Uche has 4. So, I mean, it's going to be tough all the way around. But I think to a degree where the Patriots can get got, I think it can be on the ground. I think Dalvin Cook needs to be having just a monster game on Thursday night. Healthy recs for a fast breakfast. My go-to is always, my breakfast basically every morning is a smoothie and eggs and like half an avocado. All right, so if you want to go fast, smoothies is really the way to go because I mean they make these single serve blenders where you just pile everything in. You can even do it the night before, and then you just jam it onto the thing, and then just you go. But also, you have to gauge yourself. Like you have to understand if you're the type of person where a smoothie just runs right through you, for a lack of a better term, or if you're going to be fine. Because I mean, if you got to commute to work, sitting in your car or sitting on a bus with no bathroom, I don't know, man. I don't know, but yeah, smoothie's my go-to. Plus. So smoothie, get yourself a good protein powder, and then I always toss in a ton of spinach, a lot of blueberries, banana, do some chia seeds, toss a couple of cashews in there so it's like thick, THICC, then either almond milk or oat milk. Yeah. Don't have to be too fancy. Chili rules. Do you think we were exposed last week? I think we can get exposed if we don't show up. I think it was just an all-around ass kicking. I don't think it was necessarily just an exposing. But, I mean, of course you're going to look exposed when you just aren't ready to play. Do you think Justin Fields' toughness will prevent him from being in Chicago long term? I don't know. Like, Justin Fields, he's definitely electric with the ball in his hands. I think that he has to develop a lot more as a passer. But I think that he is sort of taking the Jalen Hurts trajectory where, I mean, Hurts coming in, he got it done mostly with his legs, and then the passing came later. So I think Fields could eventually develop like that because I really like Justin Fields in the draft. I thought that Chicago was going to waste him. It looks like they were doing that at the start, and Fields is just like, F it, I'm taking over. Hugh Janis, you probably answered this many times. What's your favorite show and movie of all time? Favorite show is, well, I got like 5 of them. So Yellowstone is really good. Breaking Bad. Sons of Anarchy, For All Mankind is really good, and Ted Lasso. Oh, and The Office, that's like 6. Favorite movie? I could probably watch Ocean's 11 every single day, over and over and over again, or Rounders, or there's an MMA movie from like a decade ago called Warrior with Joel Edgerton and Tom Hardy in it. I think that's a really good movie too. Adam. The Dallas loss really hurt. My lady is a Dallas fan, and they beat us 3 years in a row now. I'm not too worried about our loss. Yeah, Dallas is becoming the new Seattle. Nah, I'm more worried about our injuries and the likeliness that some of the star players are going to be out. My question is, the time where we pick up some star-powered free agents. Well, OBJ sounds like he's selecting between Dallas and the Giants. And, I mean, for star-powered free agents, I mean, there's not really a left tackle that you would start right away. There's not really a cornerback that you would start right away. So I think the Vikings are just sort of stuck with the hand that they're dealt. But luckily, 10 days off between the Patriots and the Jets game hopefully is going to help a lot of guys heal up. Joe Lopez, do you think a loss like this will break a team's spirits? Will break first, your spirit or your body? Your body. Skull from Rhode Island. No, I think, a lesser team, yes. I mean, a lesser team could just get their ass whooped like this, and then they'll get their ass whooped the rest of the way. But I think this team is going to get pissed off because they've seen that, hey, we could play some really good football. 7 wins in a row doesn't happen by accident, man. So I think that they will bounce back. CM Lee, what's the likelihood of Kwesi trading up for a quarterback first round this year to sit behind Kirk for a season or possibly a wide receiver to succeed Thielen? I ask this because I think they only needs a young defense tackle linebacker. I think that the young guys on the position. It depends who's available on the board. I mean, if Will Levis falls in the draft, which I mean, it's possible. I mean, when you're betting on traits, but Levis definitely needs some time to sit versus a Stroud or a Young. I mean, it's possible. Like if Levis gets out of the top 10 and the Vikings are at the ass end of the first round, maybe they go up for him. Or if the right wide receiver is there, yes, that would make sense. But we'll see what happens with the board. Reptar. Where do you think Kevin O'Connell needs to improve the most as a head coach or play caller? Favorite cartoon as a kid? Rugrats Forever. Favorite cartoon as a kid? Batman the Animated Series. R.I.P. The real Batman. I think as a head coach, I think that he is really good at connecting with his players. Obviously, it didn't work against Dallas. I think overall, he's good at game management. I think as a play caller, he does have to work at adaptation, and I think that he will get there. And like he made 0 adjustments against Dallas, but at a certain point when that game got so bad, maybe it was less about adjustments and more about just getting the hell out of there. I mean, they sat the starters, vanilla playbook, not showing anything else. It was just one of those days. Key Cocat, what's your favorite food to eat on Thanksgiving Day? I really love turkey wings. I don't know why that is, but most people, when they roast their turkey, it's sitting in the pan. Some people have the rack for it. I actually just like sitting the turkey in the pan because then all the dark meat gets nice and juicy. So you got the thighs down in that juice. So you got the back, you got the turkey oysters back there, and then you got the wings just sort of sitting in a broth, which is really good. Of course, everyone loves turkey legs too. Zeke, top 3 favorite Vikings. I love your channel and all the videos. Hey, thank you. Top 3, Moss, Carter, and John Randall. Yeah. And the top 5, it can be Jared Allen, it could be Winfield, it could be Everson, it could be Harrison popping in there. Yeah, it sort of goes back and forth. Caleb Taylor, thoughts on the Wolves this year? I haven't paid attention at all. I know they're disappointing after the Gobert trade, but no. David Ditter, I think we need to honestly ask why Zimmer's offense was better than Kevin Collins at this point. I think the run game is a good place to start. I wouldn't go that far. I would say that Kevin O'Connell's offense has shown a lot more spark, especially on opening drives. Inconsistency is what's plagued it, but I think I would rather have the Vikings' offensive direction under Kevin O'Connell now versus the Kubiai. Michael Miller, do you think we signed another cornerback? If so, who? Defensive tackle? Well, a defensive tackle, I would have said Linval or Sue, but Sheldon is still hanging out there, just chilling. He had a relatively good year last year. Cornerback-wise, I mean, I can see them bringing back Harrison Hand. I don't see them really making a splash at corner. Isaiah, what do you like most about Thanksgiving? I think, well, the food is great. Family, friends. Just had a big Friendsgiving over the weekend. It's one of my favorite things of the calendar year. And just being grateful. And for around our lives, there's just so many times where people aren't happy because they're worried about things that they don't have or they're jealous about things that other people have. But taking some time being thankful for what you have. I mean, if you got health, great. If you got family, great. If you got friends, great. I mean, other than that, what do you need? Jermaine Williams, which is better, wing flats or drumsticks? Flats. Yeah. Even though, so I'm sort of weird. I do eat the drumsticks first just to save the flats. Right? But, yeah. Yeah, because I like the flats where you pop the joint and then you take out the radius of the ulna. Doesn't matter. You take out the smaller bone and then it's just like, ha! It's a meat lollipop. Woo! Brett G. Are you following the World Cup? If so, what are you most excited about? My guys, Japan, just beat Germany. So it's pretty awesome. The United States, I want them to do well, obviously, but they sort of gave that one away at the end against Wales. Like you lost to a team that's named after a sea animal. So stupid. H. I really hope that we beat the Pats, but I know Adon Shell is going to make Mac Jones look like Tom Brady. Who do you think is going to have the biggest impact come Thursday? Hopefully Zadarius Smith and Daniel Hunter just go out there and hunt. Because you can get after Mac Jones. The Patriots offensive line is dinged up. So I think that the Vikings should bring hellfire down upon Mac Jones. That would be really good to see. Dan Larson. I was at historic U.S. Bank Stadium for our first Vikings game against the Cowboys. Am I bad luck for the team, or should I still go to the Christmas game against the Giants? No, still go. Still go. I mean, you have to have a better experience than that. And it can't get any worse, right? I mean, the Giants have never historically beat us worse than 40-3, right? IDK. Do you think Ty Chandler and King Kenny are going to play next year, and who do you want to trade Dalvin Cook for? I don't think there will be any takers for his contract. I mean, Dalvin's looked really good this year, but the running back position is very tenuous. I would like to keep Dalvin, maybe at a pay cut if he's open to that. Or, I mean, it's going to be tough. But I do think that Ty Chandler and King Kenny have a bright future and would like to see them getting on the field more. Conan, Billy Bone. Well, once Chandler gets healthy. Is Sheldon Richardson available? Will Mike Pettin be elevated to defense coordinator? Well, I think if Donatel is going to get fired, like if they get lit up by Mac Jones, they got 10 days now before the Jets, I think that would make sense to fire Donatel, then elevate Mike Pettin. Also, revenge game for Mike Pettin. For Kevin O'Connell, too. Shoot. Tristan D. I think in the draft next year, however, the rest of the season turns out. If we win the Super Bowl or not, the Vikings need help. JJ. Yes. We're Thielen. I mean, Thielen had himself a nice game against Dallas, and it's starting to show that he's getting healthier. I mean, that ankle probably wasn't ever 100%. And KJ, I love me some KJ. He just hasn't really gotten the opportunity as a wide receiver too. But if you can draft an absolute nail-driving wide receiver 1B, they got to consider it. Clinton Ressig, will Christian Darrisaw ever return to 100% health? Yes. I think that his second concussion, maybe they rushed him back after the first concussion against the Bills. So maybe this is just more of a continuation because Darrisaw, he looked very tenuous out there when he was playing against Dallas. So maybe he wasn't ready. Maybe they rushed him back. Stephen Cass. I don't know if you watched Tom Grossi, but he put out a dang funny short video of Vikings versus Packers 2022 as Black Knight scene from Monty Python's Holy Grail with the Packers as a Black Knight. Cool. Sir Ruan, if Donatel shats the bed again, should we call up some old friend by the name of Mike Zimmer for D coordinator? He would never do it. And yes, rest in peace, Adam Zimmer. That's really sad, man. Mr. Raining Fire. Do they still have a rule to protect players from getting speared from other players? Armstrong, Lord Lieutenant Darrisaw on the chin. I mean, yes, but I mean, spearing is more of like an open field thing. I mean, in the line, it's really tough. Now, did Dallas know that Darrisaw had a concussion? Yes. Do you think that they potentially target him? Maybe not systematically, but I mean, players know. Like players know if the dude across from them has an injury, potentially going after that. So, I mean, were they looking to hit Darrisaw flush in the head, try and get him knocked out of the game again? I mean, it's possible. But also every team does it. The professional amateur. Season's over. Shut up. Arkham's Vengeance. Someone talked me off the ledge. Yeah, that's your talk. Shut up. Arkham's Vengeance. Do you think us Vikings fans should be worried about the Dallas game? Yes, I'm very worried. Sir Wham, I think that Sunday happened for a reason. All that tape of straight garbage will open O'Connell and Dontel's eyes. Their schemes. Yeah, I think that it certainly can be a positive from. There's a difference between losing a close game and just getting your ass kicked. You're going to focus and get after it there. Strictly Sports record playoff predictions: 14-3, 2 seed, Vikings Super Bowl, and the W. Nova Physics. I think people are overreacting to the loss. I see people saying that they are not going to win another game, and that's just not true. I mean, that's fair. We had a lot of players just weren't prepared. I agree. I mean, there's a lot of so-called fans that are clearly showing that their other fans are just completely like jumping off the ship. Hey, no readmittance to the bandwagon. Once you're off, you're off. Mighty Strangebird. How many Vikings games have you visited in historic U.S. Bank Stadium? I've only been to 3, and they're all preseason games. And they're more just about having a couple cold ones and hang out with friends. I mean, for games, I'm always here. You want me on that wall, you need me on this wall. Tristan D. After the game Sunday, it's got me wondering if we hired the right guy. A coach's job is always to have his team prepared. Well, I mean, it's fair, but you're not going to bat 1,000, and this could be a big learning experience from Kevin O'Connell. But also, week 2 should have been a learning experience. J-Dude, rank the Vikings jerseys from your favorite to least favorite. So I will go Color Rush, Purple, White, All White, and then White, Purple. There you go. Jackson Lavin, favorite state outside of Minnesota. I'm a big fan of Texas. I just like how Texas handles their business. I like Tennessee a lot. I like parts of California. Nevada's obviously great. Let's see what else. I've been through Montana. I haven't been to Montana, but I'm sure that I would greatly enjoy that. And then also, what else is a good state? Oh, I like Maryland. Like Maryland, like the Annapolis area. It's really fantastic. Eric Anderson. Cameron Tiny Dancer's injury has really shown the value, how valuable he is. We need him healthy for the playoffs. Yes, he potentially could return week 14 against the Lions. Magic Minecraft Show. What got you into doing YouTube? Well, initially we just did an audio podcast, and we just it pushed to YouTube just through Libsyn, and then saw that we were getting some traction on YouTube, and then we started doing some videos, and some people started watching videos, and really took off from there. Dolia Nation. Is it true Kevin O'Connell is secretly smarter than 10 best football minds in the game right now combined? Yes. Yes. Krim. With the Bucs losing 38-3 during their 2020 Super Bowl run, why can't we do the same thing about the Vikings? Stuff happens. The game just got out of hand at that point. We move on. It's a fair question. I think the Vikings could potentially bounce back like the Bucs. Tom Brady, shut up. Shut your face. Eric Francis. Out of the coaching staff, who needs to go and be replaced for next year? Donatel. Maybe Durante Jones in the secondary. Maybe Chris Rumph on the defensive line. Offensively, I think you're good to go. Yeah. Buccaneers fan for life. Do you think that the Vikings are still Super Bowl contenders? Yes. Yes. Matt Deraitis. When the Vikings win the Super Bowl this year, which players walk off in the sunset, retire, if any? I don't think any. It would be tempting for a guy like Harrison or Thielen, but I don't see it. I don't see it. I mean, both of them still have some good years of football left. I don't. Maybe someone like Kendricks. I mean, it's clear that Kendricks has a lot of outside interests, whether it be YouTube, whether it be cars, whether it be whatever. But I just don't see that. I don't know. Jay Granger Vikings, and Kirk ain't doing that. Jay Granger Vikings won. Why didn't the Vikings stick a blocking tight end on Michael Parsons' side of the defense on every pass play? After Darrisaw left, his obviously offensive line was leaky as an untrained puppy with 2 Peters. That's a fair question, and that comes down to in-game adjustments. And they kept running 5 7-step drops with 5 in the pattern. It was just, even though Dallas is rushing 4 and it's 4 against 5, they were just overmatched. Joseph Bergen. Well, we beat the Packers, we beat the Bills. I don't think Dallas is a good team as they are. We have a chance to turn this around. Everybody just got a little overwhelmed. I got to lock this down. I still think it's Super Bowl material. They just have to think so. Yes, I think that's fair. Purple Pocket Podcast. Will Kirk Cousins retire as a Viking, and why? Yes, because I think that he does give the Vikings the best chance to win as of right now. Jake Logevin, most embarrassing loss, 40-3 at home versus Cowboys or 38-7 at Philly? I'd still say 38-7 at Philly just because of what's on the line. I mean, this was just a regular season home game. It is what it is. But that was NFC title game for a chance to play a home Super Bowl. And you just quit. I mean, after that strip sack of Keenum when it was 14-7, the Vikings were in the red zone. And then it was just over. Just over, man. Wild Bumby Lee. Will the Vikings get help for the O-line? Blake Brandel just ain't cutting it. Well, Brandel played well against the Bills. He did not play well against the Cowboys, but also they didn't do him any favors. They left him out on an island. They basically had the same game plan with Brandel as they did with Darrisaw, but you can't have that. Daniel J. Hampshire. Juden is a better player than Parsons. IMO, how big of a problem will he be on Thursday? Darrisaw is severely missed. I think that Juden... I think Parsons is a better player, but Judon is a fantastic pass rusher. I think that the fact that he rushes about 3/4 of the time from the left side of the defense, the right side of the offense, I think that could help since you got Brian Neal over there. Although, I mean, if you're the Patriots, I mean, just put Judon over Brandel every single time, or stunt him over Ed Ingram. TG5455. Do you still believe in Kirk Cousins? Yes. Unfortunately, yes. WWE Reki. Fire Donishell. Hate that defense with a passion. Any thoughts? Yes. I would do it. Sober Surfer. The Vikings haven't beaten the Patriots since 2000. Well, they've only played the Patriots like 4 times. So whatever. And that was during their Super Bowl run. So, again, whatever. Virtue. Ken Dama. When is it time to shake up the offensive line? If we're getting dominated in the trenches again. I don't think it's necessarily time to panic yet. I would have considered benching Ingram a couple weeks ago. And Brandel just has to do what he can do until Darisaw gets back. I would definitely have Reed activated for a change, and then have him ready to go just in case you need to plug some holes. I would consider, if you really want to change it up, put Ezra at left tackle, put Schlotman at left guard, and then put Chris Reed at right guard. If you really wanted to shake things up. Nathan Peruzels. Offensive line looked terrible, and so did the defense. What do you think O'Connell has to change for New England, knowing they have one of the top defenses in the league? Oh, we did a full video on that, but I think running the ball, more max protect, and booting away from Matt Judon. Basically, that's really about it. Westworld. J-Ron Curse is such a clown. Dude got himself released after being a captain, and that's fair. Right? J-Ron, doing the skull chant after he got a blitz sack. I mean, it is what it is, but also he played his way out of town. I mean, he was a special teams captain, and we all know what happened there. But that's it. That is Q&A for the week. Have yourself a happy Thanksgiving. Load up on all the sides and all the carbs. And tonight, we ride. Tonight, the season bounces back. But until next time, Skol, production value.